I'd like to tell you that I just got this guy, and that we're just now going to go over Grizzlor because he just showed up, but it wouldn't be true. But what is true is we're going to check out Grizzlor. Okay, so what's up? Grizzlor showed up quite a while ago, actually, and for what it's worth, there's actually a good deal of stuff that is waiting to be open. There's a good deal of Masterverse that's waiting to be open. There's some Origins that's waiting to be open. There's some special figures that are waiting to be open, and I try what I can to stay on top of it. I really do. But life is life. You got your own, you got the job and everything you got to do, and then by the time you get home and you get things together, and then sometimes you don't have time to do the videos, and then sometimes if one of these guys falls behind 2 or 3 videos, then we get the things that are like very, very new that just came in. So like, of course, when something like Vicron arrived, I already had him and I'd been meaning to open him, but then Vicron showed up and I was like, well, let's be honest about it. I should probably do Vicron because there's a lot of people out there that either didn't get him or are waiting for him, and they're going to be more interested in that. And how do I put this? It's not chasing views, but sometimes I get caught up in the same hype that everybody else is in. So like, when Vicron shows up, and he's already been sitting on my shelf for a while, this is something that I was really looking forward to. But I was also really looking forward to Vicron, and he showed up, and then I told myself, well, look, here's the truth of it. Couple of things. 1, you know you want to open him. 2, if you put him off and you open this, he's going to sit on the shelf for a while. 3, if you do open him right now, there is the benefit that people are actually interested in talking about Vicron. It helps you out a little bit, and it puts him on the shelf right now, so we're not waiting. And then of course things like when Red Sonja showed up, she took priority. That is one of my all-time favorite characters, favorite things ever, so that took priority. I was opening that up. And when things like the big items come in, like the Golden Axe figures, when those come in, those take priority. Those I want to open right now. I want to see them. This guy, for what he's worth, yeah, he was a fairly rare thing. I mean, you had to buy him in either limited quantities, or if you didn't get him in the limited quantity run, you had to get him via the made-to-order run, which I still think that that's the way to go with a lot of these figures. I think that if you're going to do exclusive runs, made-to-order is the way to go. Yeah, we have to wait like basically an entire year to get what we want, but I don't think it hurt me to wait that long. I really don't think it hurt me at all. It didn't really bother me because I kept saying in the back of my head, he'll be here. I'll get him. I know I'll get him. And sure enough, here he is. So let's check him out. Okay, so let's check him out. I'm going to hold the camera this time just because of the angle that I'm currently at, and because I didn't feel like breaking out the stand. We have the normal box, which of course we always look forward to, but we always know it's pretty standard, and it's good. It's always good. But here's what I want to see. I want to see the back. That is beautiful. That red moon, that is fantastic. There's one of those little creature things. I have a couple of those actually on the shelf right over here. There they are. They're right there. They actually came with this Battle Cat and that He-Man. So that's actually really cool that is even a thing. That's kind of cool that those creatures are there. I'm curious about this. Isn't this like the Fright Zone forest thing or something like that? That makes me wonder if we're going to get one. And this is fantastic. I love that Grizzlor fighting She-Ra. Oh man, this is fantastic. This, to me, this is what Motu is. This is what Motu is. Motu is very much, if I had control, Motu, you would expand that universe and you would play around with the concepts, make it a little more brutal like the DC Comics did and whatnot, and play it off like a Conan the Barbarian-esque series, grow it up a bit, because this is fantasy. That's what it is. This is hardcore barbarian fantasy. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what I truly believe it's meant to be from the start. The toys are not the same universe as the show. Absolutely not. They're just not. I'm telling you. Look at that artwork and then tell me that that's the 1980s show. Tell me. Tell me it is. And you know deep down it's not. The toys are from a darker, more severe, more realistic universe, and I love them for it. Let's open this guy. Okay. Let's check this fuzzy wuzzy mug out, huh? First off, he does look cool. He's definitely something I was looking forward to. I wanted a super bestial Yeti dude. The hair is connected to him, so very much like a troll doll. I don't know how else to describe it to you, but that's what it is. I mean, it's... And I was actually thinking that this was going to be almost a removable thing, but it's not. It's very much connected to him. I really like this Hordak symbol belt thing that he's wearing, the battle harness. I think that's fantastic. I like the boots. It's just enough color separation there for me to be happy about it. I wish his hand had like claws. It's not just a hairy slapper, but I mean, it's fine. The face is actually really good. I like that. I like that red eyes. I like the separation there. I like that his teeth. He reminds me of like a critter. Like from Critters, that's what he's reminding me of. He's got this cool axe for the kind of characters that Origin is. He's got a cool axe. That's a solid axe, especially if you compare it to like the He-Man axe, which is actually, it's cool, but it's not as impressive. This is like a big, bestial, angry thing, and I just think that's really cool. I think it's really, really solid. So here's what I want to do. I want to compare him. He also gets this. Looks like you connect it this way or whatever, and it's a bow. It's cool. I don't know that necessarily I feel like it fits him, but it is cool. I like it regardless, and I'm definitely gonna, if I'm gonna display him in some way, he's either going to have the axe or nothing at all. I don't think I'm too keen on giving him the bow, even if it was to fit his character. To me, he's a beast man, and I want him to be bestial, and I want him to be scary, and to me, it's more terrifying that this beast runs you down on foot and has this giant axe. I like this piece right here. The battle harness is pretty solid and standard in the way that it's set up. It's cool. This guy's cool gremlin man. I like him. I really do. Compare him to my favorite beast that I've got so far in terms of Origin. In terms of the Origin line, I've got only a couple of bestial guys, really. But I really like the Lords of Power Beastman. I think he's absolutely solid. In fact, I didn't buy the Origins Beastman because I thought he looked goofy. And sure, every character is somebody's favorite character. I very much understand if you're buying Beastman and you're like, what, Bill? That's not fair. Beastman is awesome. I love Beastman, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, you should love Beastman if that's your favorite character. What appeals to you is what appeals to you. I'm just giving you my take. I thought that he was cooler. He's red. He seems more menacing. I like all these spikes and everything like that. He very much looks like something you run into the wilderness and you're like, oh my god, it's a literal beast man. That's terrifying. He feels like a beast man. These are big, bestial, scary guys that look like they don't even need their weapons to hurt you, to tear you up. And that brings us to the hero of our story. I want to see the comparison here. This is my She-Ra, which I did an entire video, of course, on all three of these guys, so maybe I'll post that in the thing here. Let me turn the camera, get a little bit more adjustment, and let's see. I want to see the comparison. Now, she's small in terms of her frame, which actually helps quite a bit. Let's get him to the background a little bit here. That is solid. Because that comparison, he is giant and menacing compared to her. And I like that because it adds a little something to the actual flair of the fight, where if you're going to put her like this, move her foot forward or whatever, put her in some sort of battle position where she's like this and she's going to have to take care of herself here for a second. Move the shield up. Let's see if I can't get her into some sort of battle pose real quick. Just something easy, just something standard, just enough where she looks cool. I feel like I should be able to get her to stand like this. She's giving me, there we go. I kind of got her like that. She's kind of poised for battle or whatever. She's set like this. And then him, we'll kind of bring his axe up, put his arm out or whatever, and have him take like a step and have him really like, you know, he's fracking scary. Just something simple like that. And you see that comparison? See that comparison of size? That is exactly what I'm talking about. It's the reason I like the Beastmen type characters, is especially like Cast Off with this. He looks so huge and menacing. This is straight up something out of a Red Sonja, Conan the Barbarian comic book type of thing. This is fantasy art. It doesn't look possible for her to be able to win in this situation. The savagery of it, the comparison of it is exactly what I'm looking for when I'm looking for these kind of characters. That is menacing. He is really cool. Love this. Love this guy. He's a cool addition to the shelf. And that's Grizzlor. Pretty simple video this time, nothing too big. We've went over a couple of guys like this before, and I'm not going to go over all his articulation and things like that. I'm not Pixel Dan. Look, that's just the way that it is. I have a certain thing that I like to do here, and mainly I just like to get my ideas out. Guys, that's what I do here. If you're interested at all, if you've been here for a little while, maybe you're starting to catch on to that, maybe you're starting to see that where my interest lies is looking over the characters, getting a feeling for them, letting my imagination take place and really get that first initial hit of like, what is this? What do I see? How does it relate to me? Why does it deserve to be here? What's cool? What stands out? What avatar of the imagination sparks in my mind as soon as I see these characters? Are they going on the shelf or are they going to resale? Because let's be honest, some of these things you get them and you think that they're really cool and you kind of get an idea, and then once you get them on the shelf, and then you get to looking at them for a little while and you go, maybe I don't like that as much as I do. Or maybe I could have done better. Maybe I could have saved my money and got a better version or this or that or yada yada. Hey, that happens sometimes. But that's the reason I like to do these videos the way that I like to do them. I like to come in here and I like to be very unscripted, and I like to get my first impressions, opening the character and really kind of letting my imagination run for a while, compare them against a couple other figures, and then determine whether or not, did I waste my money? Was this really cool? Is this going on the shelf? Yada, yada, yada. And yeah, without a doubt, he's going on the shelf. He is awesome. He's really cool. I like him quite a bit, and I really like how much he poses against the She-Ra. So, fantastic figure. We got a lot more to open. A lot more. We got G.I. Joes to open. We got Batman to open. So we got DC. We got Gundams to build. We've got DC to open. We've got more Motu Origins to open. We've got Masterverse to open. We've got G.I. Joe to open. And we also have possibly another couple sets of superpowers that may be on the way. I haven't decided yet to buy it. I'm fighting with myself. See, I made a decision. One of the reasons that I slowed down on some of my buying for toys is because I want to own the original run of Conan the Barbarian, the Marvel years. I want that. I want to read it, all of it, and I want to put it all into my mindset. I want it. But those books are out of print and getting more difficult to find all the time. I'm almost done. I moved away from single issues. I talked about this in another video. I moved away from single issues, and when I decided to do that, I decided that I wanted something that always went on the shelf and always looked good and had a spine. I want the graphic novels. If it's not a trade paperback, if it's not the graphic novel, I'm actually not interested at this point. I don't want floppies. I don't want single issues just cluttering up my existence. I don't want it anymore. It's just not something I'm interested in. I don't want to dig through bins the way that I used to. This is all part of the collecting thing. And for me, for a long time, when I was younger, it was a big deal to try to like collect series and whatnot. But now, as I'm starting to get older and I'm starting to view my collection in very different terms, there's things about it that have just changed. I want to be able, first and foremost, to tell you that every single thing on the shelf has a purpose. And if it doesn't, it needs to go. It needs to mean something to me, it needs to be cool in some sort of way, and it has to be something that I personally would not mind. If it sits on the shelf, it has a story. If you were to take any item off this shelf and say, Bill, this thing is cool, I'm going to talk about it. And I'm usually going to have something to say as to why it exists in the collection. Everything from a simple story to this is like one of the most important things. It's one of the things that literally built my foundation in fiction in my life. So things like that. Well, I started realizing that part of that was torn down by comic books, that I was putting these things in white boxes and then putting them off into the corners, and then I would never touch them. And then if I did want to touch them, I had to be like, oh man, I really want to watch, like, I really want to read like The Death and Return of Superman. But like, I got to dig all those books out, and that means I got to get under the boxes, and I got to get like 5 or 6 layers down. And then when I finally get the box and I pull it out, and so it makes more sense to me now. I got bookshelves. I'm going to buy these stories that I love, like Conan the Barbarian, in these trade paperbacks. Well, that's put me on a quest to buy those books, and I'm 2 away from finishing the entire Marvel run. But these books are costing me anywhere from $50 to $80 depending on the situation. I think the last 2 I can get for under 50 bucks. One of them I get for like 40-something dollars, and then I found another one that's a pretty good deal. It's brand new basically, and it's in like $34 range. I can get those 2 books, but that means I got to put a couple things off in order to do it, and I was really, really wanting the Superpowers Batmobile. So I come across a dilemma where if I go for these books, the Batmobile could very well sell out again like it did before, but I'm gonna put my hopes here that the first run, they sold out like crazy. But then just like the first run sold out with the Batwings, there are all of a sudden Batwings everywhere. I can go to Walmart right now, I could choose a random Walmart, drive to that Walmart and buy a Batwing. So I'm going to assume that the stock is going to remain constant the same way, but the Conan books will not. They're out of print, and when they disappear, they disappear. So I think that I'm going to put my money towards the Conan books, which means I'm going to not be buying new product necessarily for the collection. However, that isn't going to stop us very much because, like I said, I got a lot of stuff that's still sitting on the waiting to be open train. So, like, we're in no danger of running out of videos or content or cool stories to talk about or toys to see. That's not an issue. And as always, if you guys have questions and things like that, you can always post them. And I'm always interested in doing videos talking about like what's this or what's that, or just let me know. Anyways, that's what I got for this one. He's really cool. He's added to the shelf. He's definitely made the cut. And now you have a little idea of what's going on in my head in my current collecting life. And that's enough out of me, right? I've rambled enough. I'm going to get out of here.
I have spoken. Take what you will from it.